Yeah, what's good, cryptocurrency fans out there? Welcome back to the Everything Altcoin channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the next 100x narrative that you guys do not want to miss out on. And of course, you guys know it's robotics. You guys, if you guys been paying attention to my channel, I've been so bullish on robotics. It's been very crazy, but now starting to see a lot of people start to get bullish on it. Is one of my key points of telling you guys, whenever you guys pay attention to this channel, if you subscribe to this channel, you guys already know I'm trying to put you guys onto the narratives before people start to catch on. And now robotics has become that narrative that now more people are starting to talk about. Now I'm going to start to do some topics where I'm going to make videos on, but we're also going to do live streams on these topics so we can actually talk about it together on a live, and then I'll have the video for you guys later on down the line. So you guys know we've been talking about robotics we streamed it about 4 days ago. We had a live stream talking about robotics here, brought up a lot of key points. We had Jay and we had AK up here just talking about robotics. Now, if you guys missed that live stream, you guys should be subscribed to the channel so you guys do not miss the next live stream. But I'm gonna run down everything that we've talked about in that live stream in terms of robotics, and then we're going to talk about the plays in this video as well. So you guys can see there's a bunch of new headlines all over the place, and it's about robotics, new things that's happening here. You guys can see Meet Atlas here. This is a new robotic humanoid that's doing flips, as you guys can see here. China unveiled a new robotics pretty much they had a new robotics launch with a multi-purpose humanoid robot that can learn tasks without updates, right? So China is moving quickly on this whole robotics narrative. And right now, one of the biggest things I've seen so far all over the internet is more people talking about this humanoid stuff, right? You can see this is from Figure Robot here. They essentially had a little competition between a human and a humanoid, right? So you can see David puts out this tweet. In this demonstration, the human was only 1.5% faster than the Figure 03 humanoid robot. Figure 04 is expected to bring dynamic improvements. So this is essentially was a little competition that just happened not too long ago, and you guys, this has been blowing up, honestly, the internet, because now people are starting to see the first tangible things that they can actually witness for robotics narrative. As you guys know, I've been telling you guys, the reason robotics hasn't really taken off is because people haven't been really seeing the IRL things that could connect to blockchain or whatever. But now this is starting to happen, that where they can find ways to start to connect this onto the blockchain. I should say crypto instead of blockchain, because whatever happens IRL usually ties into crypto as well. Now, another big thing that most people probably have missed and aren't talking about, which is surprising, is that Meta acquired Assured Robot Intelligence to power humanoid robot push, right? Assured Robot Intelligence is a startup building AI models for robots as part of the Humanoid Technology Initiative. So this is something that Meta is now diving into. The last time Meta dived into something big, you guys already know, Metaverse. They changed Facebook to Meta because of that, but they've been diving into AI. I think they got their own chatbot they're going to be working on. They got a whole AI division because this is something that is going to be so big, right? So AI overall encompassing is going to be very big, but now they're also getting into robotics as well. Now, this is something I've been saying for a while now. The founder of Alloy Robotics said, if you go all in on robotics right now, you still be early. Now, I've been early since what is it, 2 years now since Peak came out. We've been talking about robotics, right? So I've been very early, and we still are very early right now. A lot of these plays are still on the low of prices here. Now, I want to get into what Asai is thinking about this whole robotics narrative, right? I'm gonna break this down before we start getting into the whole plays and things like that, especially some of the plays that Asai mentions here as well. We're going to probably highlight this. So this is going to be a longer video. You guys strap in, get your popcorn, and let's chase some altcoins, right? Now, before we get into looking at what Asai has to say, I would like to ask you guys, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. We're on the road to 30k subscribers. If you guys would like to help out with that, hit that red subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, comment what you guys think down below, and while you guys are down there, you guys can hit that Discord link to join the Discord to continue the crypto conversation we're having daily. And you guys can ask, how does that Patreon group work? As you guys know, we have been getting into some bangers already. We've turned this base season, if you guys been missing out on base season, you just don't like money. Right now, we've been killing it on base as of right now, flipping a lot of microcaps into the main portfolio here. If you don't want to miss out on that, you guys already know, you guys got to join that Patreon here. We even killed it on the pod trade. So things is starting to heat up on the Patreon again. So if you guys do not want to miss out on that, check out this post here. This post will let you know everything you guys get with the HQ, Asai, all of that. And then you can watch the video there, and you get the discount code here, right here, Asai 2026. This will save you 40% off your first month. month here. And you guys can plug that into Patreon and get 40% off, test out the group, test out the HQ, all of that, so you don't miss out on the next play as well. And lastly, if you're looking for a cold storage wallet, I use Tangent. If you guys would like to use the same thing, use code EverythingAltcoin to save you guys 10%. And let's continue on here. So I asked Asai, what's your thoughts on robotics as a undervalued narrative? Asai says, you're right to call it undervalued. Here's the blunt take on why. The robotics thesis is real. The machine economy is coming. NVIDIA, Figure AI, Tesla, Boston Dynamics are in the race to deploy humanoid robots. In 2026 is the inflection point where narrow robots go from lab to warehouse. You guys already seen that video from the warehouse I just told you, right? Now, Chain of Thought identified this months ago. Phase 1, which is now, narrow robots for well-defined tasks. Phase 2, which is going to be late 2026 to 2028. The data flywheel kicks in. More deployment means fewer failures, means bigger rollouts. Phase 3, which is going to be 2028 and beyond, we're going to have new models robust enough to handle new tasks within 5 minutes of demonstration. That's a multi-trillion-dollar TAM hitting in real life, and TradFi world knows it. Now it starts to bring up some meme coin on Solana, so we're not really going to look at that meme coin side. Now, the actual robotics plays in crypto right now are different. You got Peak, the real machine play here. You guys already know I'm very bullish on Peak, and Asai is bullish on Peak as well. IoTex, not too many people really be talking about IoTex as well. I've been waiting to do my DD a little bit more. I do want to make a video on IoTex versus Peak. This is going to be a pretty good video, right? IoTex is the physical verification consensus mainnet targeting first physical consensus blockchain. PVC for robot verifying real world data on chain. And then you got GeoNet, DPIN for robotics / AI, which is going to be your geospatial data, right? So this is the stuff that it brought out here in terms of looking at some altcoins. Now I already have Peak on the list, so we're going to be looking at that. We're going to highlight IoTex and GeoNet later on. Now also to that note, Blockmates has put out an in-depth article on the robotics trade, what to look out for. So some of the altcoins on here is actually the altcoins we talk about in this video as well. Now, mind you, I'm telling you guys, I've been so early on this that these guys are all talking about the same place I've been talking about for a while now. Now, in this article, they go on to say robotics introduce an entirely different set of coordination and verification problems that simply don't exist in adjacent sectors. The second you have machines operating in real world, you need a way for those machines to verify and identify each other so rogue robots can't spoof the entire fleet. A way to prove work actually happens, some proof of physical work. That's going to probably be something that people are going to talk about. A way to settle payments instantly, globally, and tiny amounts without human manual approving transactions here. So this is like one of the some of the bottlenecks that this may have here. But in this whole article, they go on to talk about different verticals on here. The first one, you have 4 verticals here of the robotics trade, which is going to be your machine economy infrastructure here. They talk about Peak here being the layer 1 built around the machine economy. It's Peak OS gives robots a verifiable identity, on-chain wallets, and stablecoin payments right out the box, the full stack to operate autonomously in the world, right? So looking at Peak here, you guys can see it's up to $55 million market cap. Now I had made a video not too long ago where you guys could have got it pretty much dirt cheap. I don't know what happened here where it got to 3 million market cap. I think it was like a glitch or something, but this has been pretty much around that 28 to $30 million market cap, and almost did a 2x overnight one time. And I just got a bunch of DMs where everybody was like, dang, have you seen Peak yet? I'm seeing people talk about, I gotta buy more Peak before Peak starts to pump. I'm like, hey, I've been trying to tell you guys, people are going to start to notice what Peak is building out here and becoming that infrastructure layer for robotics, right? Now, this guy here puts out a good tweet on Peak here talking about how Peak is becoming the backbone of the machine economy, robots, AI agents, vehicles, and DPIN networks all settling value on chain while the ecosystem expands daily. They just announced the initial machine offering. Now, once they put out the tweet of IMO, I already knew what IMO meant. I already knew that meant initial machine offering, but they're doing it with partnership with Dual Mint and Coinlist, right? So now that means you're probably going to have to start the KYC to get their machines. I already told you guys a bunch of times that I was going to be buying some of their their machine economy things for passive income. I already got some robotic farms, right? I got that one claw, and then I will be waiting for them to drop the robo taxis so I can invest into some robo taxis and have that as well. So I've been telling you guys all along what I've been doing on this channel with Peak here, and this is why I continuously been very bullish on them. Now, another one that they bring up is Fabric Protocol. Now, we talked about Fabric Protocol. We made a full in-depth video about Fabric Protocol, especially seeing that they partnered with Virtual Protocol to actually bring AI agents and give them pretty much a body, right? They're doing some embodied AI stuff with Virtual Protocol, right? Fabric turns robot and physical AI agents into economic actors that can own identities, earn revenue, pay their own electricity, data upgrades, and operate autonomously without humans in the loop for every decision. You can think of Fabric as the bank plus legal plus coordination system, purpose built for machines, right? So they're kind of doing something. They're looking to be another kind of infrastructure for robotics. So this is going to be something that also will be taken off during that time. Now, one thing to note about Fabric Protocol is they do have vesting schedule. They do have some inflation that is going to be coming here. As you can see here, circulating supply is about 2.2 billion, while they have a max supply of 10 billion. So you can see there's a bunch of inflation to come, just under 5x inflation. Now, with that being said, if we have a robotics narrative kick off and go crazy, this could have a decent run up. But if the market drags on a little bit and we don't see a little robotics narrative, probably to like end of 2026, maybe early 2027, right? Now there's going to be some inflation that is going to be coming out for Fabric Protocol that it will have to fight off. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out in the upcoming months to a year and some change or whatever, right? Now, a Twitter influencer did put out this tweet here: robotics season on base is brewing. Right, this is where we're going to get into the base side of some of the robotics plays here. Now, on base, AI agents have been going crazy. You guys already know. You guys can go onto Patreon here, see my first post here. All the plays that we've been playing and flipping lately have been AI agent related things on base, right? So we're making a killing off of base as of right now, and you guys should be too if you're in that Patreon group. So you guys already know what to do. Go ahead and join that Patreon group, right? The next play we're going to be talking about is Strike Robot here. Strike Robot has honestly been on an absolute tear. Now, I told you guys we did call this out in the group, but I didn't hold the whole way, especially before the news that they was partnering with Venice to do their whole VLM type thing. I didn't hold this, but this has exploded here, and this is looking like it's going to be a pretty decent robotics play to look into when that robotics narrative take off. And you guys can see it actually has held its gains pretty well during this whole time here, and this launched off of Virtuals will be launching some robotic altcoins as well. One we're going to be covering towards the end of the video that I told you guys should be paying attention to, because I'm actually very bullish on that one as well. Now, Blockmates did include Strike Robot in their article here. Strike Robot built two unique products, the SR Agentic and a modular cognitive awareness system that gives robot real-time environmental understanding across any hardware, and the SR platform, a natural language powered simulation factory that instantly generates mass physics validated training environments, right? Both products combine to solve a major data pain point and the simulation to reality gap, right? Allowing robots to train safely and scalable in hyper diverse virtual worlds before they even touch the physical one, meaning they're going to be in like the metaverse, virtual reality and things like that, training, figuring things out there before they come to the physical environment. And they also bring up Silencio, Overa. You guys already know all of those. I'm not going to cover those as of right now, but I know some people are liking Silencio, and Overa has been a metaverse play back in the day. They changed a little bit now to a robotics play where they're going to be training for visual and spatial data. Now, spatial data is very important to robotics. Why? Because robotics need to know how to maneuver in this space, right? They need to know what's a brick wall, what's a human, things like that. All of that is going to be very important, right? And that is what Over is looking to solve, but I have a better play that I think is going to be solving this a little bit better, which is Aki, man. Aki has been doing pretty well in my opinion. Actually, you guys could have got this also for very cheap. $17 million market cap right now, $32 million market cap. Of course, there's not too much inflation to go too crazy. The only concern is the volume is not that high, but that can change instantly with a robotics run, right? You can see here it is down 87% from its all-time highs. Aki is doing some big things here. Aki is building the internet for machines, and the machine economy narrative is only getting started. NVIDIA inception, robotics integration, retail deployment. That's a big thing. They have been contacted by some big retail stores to actually get their whole robots in those retail departments, right? And physical AI momentum are sending in this sector vertical, right? Real use cases, you got autonomous robots, smart warehouses, indoor navigation, AR commerce, AI agent interaction with the physical world. And Niels Phil, I think that's how you say his name, plus the team are connecting spatial computing plus DeepIn plus AI robotics into one ecosystem, right? So that is something that you guys can see. And then for the upcoming catalyst, there's going to be more enterprise rollout. So this is why I'm pretty bullish on Aki. This is going to be one of the better DeepIn, I want to say DeepIn, I want to say robotic plays out there. I put this with peak, really, in my opinion here. Next, we got Robo, who actually I've been fading these guys. I'll be honest. Some of you guys been asking me on stream what I think about Robo. I'm just like, I don't see the appeal in it. Right, I didn't see the appeal in that here, and it dropped all the way down here to $184,000 market cap, and you guys can see it has gone up nicely. You guys are probably asking, why has this all happened? But before we get into that, you guys can see the entire supply is out, so this is going to be very bullish for Robo here. That means there's no one to dump on you, unless the people that have been buying and hoarding down here, pretty much, right? Unless they might have sold up here a little bit too, but you never know. Some of these guys may have been very Robo bulls, and they might not be selling to previous all-time highs, or they're just gonna be Robo maxis, which I wouldn't blame them, right? But Robo actually put out this tweet here. This is what sent this flying, honestly. They're essentially doing AI inference for robotics, right? We secured a strategic infrastructure partnership to provide GPU native compute for robotics training, AI inference, and autonomous agents. Now, this is big. You guys already know inference is huge. Compute is a big thing as of right now. You guys know Larry Fink said that is going to be another asset class. This is why a lot of people have been very bullish on Venice, Pod, things like that. Now Robo is looking to do that for robotics here, right? So what does this mean for Robo builders? GPU-backed simulations, no more waiting, AI agents that can execute and remember, robotics inference at a scale. I think this is going to be the key part for them that they can sell as of right now and actually get some good people to want to invest into it. Because one thing that is clear is that inference and compute is going to be a huge bottleneck and driving sell force for a lot of robotics companies and AI agent companies, right? Training robots at scale need one thing above everything else: raw compute for training and inference, right? So this is something that got a lot of people bullish on Robo here. You can see here, especially it was at a cheap price. So it didn't really take much to just send this thing flying for a little bit here, right? Now I didn't catch that, but I do have my eyes on Robo right now. I'm gonna wait to see what these guys do. Are they gonna sell and let me get in? If not, I'll move. Nah, I'm not gonna move on. I'm probably just gonna have a little small bag though. Next, we got Ex Machina here. They're gonna be launching on virtuals. They're gonna have their Titan launch on virtuals here on the 27th of May. Now this one is going to be a pretty hype launch because you guys know I've been talking about it for a while, and a lot of people actually have been noticing what they have been doing. And one thing that has gotten people bullish on it is the fact that something that is doing something very similar, actually the same thing as Ex Machina in the traditional markets, came out, and they're doing pretty well. Now Zokiller here, who is the co-founder of Ex Machina, put this out. This is exactly why I've been bullish on Ex Machina here, right? So essentially, Robot Strategy came out not too long ago. They did an IPO, right? The IPO, if you guys don't know what Robo Strategy is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just like an investment vehicle for different robotics, right? It's actually just a DAO that Ex Machina is pretty much just doing, right? So he puts out this tweet here. It's pretty much the NAV here, which is $7.50. Current price of robot strategy is $37.92. You guys can see in one day it's up $9, and it is actually up pretty much $1 and some change after hours. And the thing is, this IPO'd, and usually IPOs go down, but these guys have been pretty much running. The NAV exposure is only one part of the system, right? Ex Machina also has governance, capital formation, infrastructure, RCM, and an ecosystem designed to compound beyond passive asset exposure, right? So Robo strategy gives you access to all the robotics companies that are pretty much building that they have under their umbrella, like Figure Robot, some other names that I can't even think of right now. But if you hold this is going to be like your index for the whole robotics narrative within the stock market. And this is kind of the same thing. This is pretty much the same thing as Deuce, Ex Machina here. They're going to be pretty much doing the same thing. This, not only that, as you can see, it is broken down here that they have a whole governance system, capital formation infrastructure, things like that. The RCM protocol is an important next step. It turns Ex Machina from a DAO holding robotics exposure into revenue generating capital markets layer for robotics assets. So the RCM turns Ex Machina from just being a DAO that you use to get exposure to the robotics company, but to a passive revenue generating capital market layer for robotics. So this is going to be interesting to see how this play out. This is going to be one of the truly exciting robotics companies that is going to be out coming out recent, like right now, soon, right? Because next you got Prisma, that is going to be a data infrastructure layer for robotics, right? There's going to be a whole host of other robotic companies that's going to be coming out. But looking into robotics as of right now, as a whole, as a narrative, you can't tell me this thing isn't undervalued when you're looking at it at $778 million market cap as a whole. The top gainer here is Virtual Protocol, which is not gainer, but overall market cap at $467 million. This thing right now, if you replace this, because this is doing everything, robotics, AI, if you're just looking at solely robotics plays, nothing is over $100 million market cap as of right now, which is crazy, meaning this sector has some true upside. And if you want to win the next AI trade, it's going to be in robotics. But that's the video for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you guys haven't subscribed there yet, please do so. We're on that road to 30K subscribers, and I'll show you guys later. Peace, you too.